It is not needful for our dreams to be very grand nor very big. It is only needful for our dreams to be very shiny. If this is long delayed, weapons are blunted and morale depressed. If you can't feel gratitude when you are in need, the feeling of the need would never leave you, even if it is fulfilled. When terrible things have happened to you, sometimes the promise of something good can be just as frightening. And just when I thought things were starting to get better, everything had gone wrong again. Earth provides enough to satisfy every man's needs, but not every man's greed. You are in charge of your own happiness. You don't need to wait for other people's permission to be happy.
Be kind, for everyone you meet is fighting a hard battle.
The secret of life is honesty and fair dealing. If you can fake that, you've got it made. Dream no small dreams, for they have no power to move the hearts of men. The aim of life is to live, and to live means to be aware, joyously, drunkenly, serenely, divinely aware. If you're not falling down occasionally, you are just coasting.
Never get bitter. Life is a medley of good and bad ingredients.
Too many people seem to believe that silence was a void that needed to be filled, even if nothing important was said. The results of knowledge without application results in nothing at all. Do what you know better to do. My fake plants died because I did not pretend to water them. Problems in science are sometimes made easier by adding complications.
If truth is not acceptable, it becomes the imagination of others. When you trip over love, it is easy to get up. But when you fall in love, it is impossible to stand again. A man who knows he is a fool is not a great fool. Breathing control gives man strength, vitality, inspiration, and magic powers.
90% of everything you believe you can achieve in life you will. Life takes a bit of time and a lot of relationship. Unless you realize your true self as the divine, your life is meaningless.
Imagining something is better than remembering something.
Being interesting isn't important, but being happy is, as well as being a person you're proud of. Success and failures are always very near to each other. Each can turn into the other very quickly. The point of modernity is to live a life without illusions while not becoming disillusioned. To know the history of science is to recognize the mortality of any claim to universal truth. Everything that can be thought at all can be thought clearly. Everything that can be said clearly. These mountains that you are carrying, you were only supposed to climb. Your heart is the size of an ocean. Go find yourself in its hidden depths. I am the truth, since I am part of what is real, but neither more nor less than those around me. Humility is nothing but truth, and pride is nothing but lying. Here's to freedom, cheers to art, here's to having an excellent adventure, and may the stopping never start. I am nothing more than the consequence of catastrophe. The laughter of the world is merely loneliness, pathetically trying to reassure itself. Whosoever desires constant success must change his conduct with the times. The worst memories stick with us, while the nice ones always seem to slip through our fingers. You can be young without money, but you can't be old without it. If you don't let go of the wrong people, you'll never meet the right people. How hurtful it can be to deny one's true self and live a life of lies just to appease others. Faith is believing in something you know isn't true.
Life is all about becoming a better version of yourself.
Weekends don't count unless you spend them doing something completely pointless.
I shall allow no man to belittle my soul by making me hate him.
The act of taking the first step is what separates the winners from the losers. A lie can run round the world before the truth has got its boots on. We become what we want to be by consistently being what we want to become each day. Those who are without compassion cannot see what is seen with the eyes of compassion. I never expect a perfect work from an imperfect man. The more you try to please people, the more they get control of you, and you'll end up hurting yourself.
The surest way to make your dreams come true is to live them.
People are, generally speaking, either dead certain or totally indifferent.
You're only young once, but you can be immature forever.
Sometimes a little discomfort in the beginning can save a whole lot of pain down the road.
I wouldn't have missed a single minute of it, not for the whole world.
Kindness is not a business. True kindness expects nothing in return and should never act with conditions. A serious and good philosophical work could be written consisting entirely of jokes. Positive anything is better than negative nothing.
In the cherry blossom shade, there's no such thing as a stranger.
The fact that you aren't where you want to be should be enough motivation. I was saying the right things, but not the really true things.
Be sure to place your feet in the right place, then stand firm.
My heart is too thoroughly dried to be broken in a hurry, and I mean to live as long as I can. You cannot connect with anyone except through reality. What a bright sunny day, and I don't know what to say.
If you think you have enough knowledge, you are still ignorant. Always be a learner.
I guess sometimes you have to lie to find the truth.
People ought to fight to keep their law as to defend the city's walls. Therefore, just as water retains no constant shape, so in warfare there are no constant conditions. Even in the loneliest moments, I have been there for myself.
If you're going to kick authority in the teeth, you might as well use 2 feet. They say beauty is in the eye of the beholder. I think the same could be said for time.
A seed neither fears light nor darkness, but uses both to grow.
The truth doesn't always set you free. People prefer to believe prettier, neatly wrapped lies. The biggest adventure you can ever take is to live the life of your dreams.
Attack is the secret of defense. Defense is the planning of an attack.
You don't win races by wishing. You win them by running faster than everyone else does. Life is a waste of time, and time is a waste of life. So let's all get wasted and have the time of our lives.
If you do not change direction, you may end up where you are heading.
Civilization is only possible for deeply unpleasant animals. It is only an ape that can be truly civilized.
You never know who you're inspiring or uninspiring. People notice more than you think.
When you do the right thing, you get the feeling of peace and serenity associated with it. Do it again and again. I found out that there weren't too many limitations if I did it my way.
Crying can bring relief, as long as you don't cry alone.
We may regard certain days as free days. Free days are, however, fee days. We will pay later. You need to have faith in yourself. Be brave and take risks. You don't have to have it all figured out to move forward.
Appear at points which the enemy must hasten to defend. March swiftly to places where you are not expected.
Nothing is built on stone. All is built on sand, but we must build as if the sand were stone. It's easier to fake it. When you fake it for 16 years, it becomes part of you, something you don't think about. Much of what was said did not matter, and that much of what mattered could not be said.
Be careful who you trust. Salt and sugar look the same.
This body is fragile. It is just flesh. Listen to the heartbeat. Life depends on the pumping of a muscle. Don't quit, suffer now, and live the rest of your life as a champion. Whoever said money can't buy happiness didn't know where to go shopping. Who you are tomorrow begins with what you do today. You must find the place inside yourself where nothing is impossible. I don't regret the painful times. I bear my scars as if they were medals.
Make the most of yourself, for that is all there is of you.
What we fear doing most is usually what we most need to do. We take greater pains to persuade others that we are happy than in endeavoring to think so ourselves.
If you're treated like a puppet, find a new ball of string.
Remember, success is a journey, not a destination. Have faith in your ability. You will do just fine. Entertainment is temporary happiness, but the real happiness is permanent entertainment. When ill luck begins, it does not come in sprinkles, but in showers. Though all men be equally frail before the world, the differences between them are terrifying. Denying yourself a life of personal freedom is denying yourself of a life worth living.
The mistakes I've made are dead to me, but I can't take back the things I never did.
Life belongs to the living, and he who lives must be prepared for changes. If a man is to live, he must be all alive, body, soul, mind, heart, spirit. The only true borders lie between day and night, between life and death, between hope and loss. Don't panic. It's normal to get lost every once in a while. Caught up in a whirlwind, sometimes winds too get lost. Know that bad character and attitude can block people from seeing the skill, talent, or potential you have. It is not the mountain we conquer, but ourselves. A home filled with nothing but yourself. It's heavy, that lightness. It's crushing, that emptiness. Inspiration is like perspiration. It tends to strike at the most inopportune of time.
Be patient when becoming someone you haven't been before.
When you judge another, you do not define them. You define yourself.
Dream your own dreams. Achieve your own goals. Your journey is your own and unique.
Always find opportunities to make someone smile and to offer random acts of kindness in everyday life.
If you wait by the river long enough, the bodies of your enemies will float by. Sometimes your circle decreases in size, but increases in value.
Our lives begin to end the day we become silent about things that matter. Science is not only compatible with spirituality, it is a profound source of spirituality.
The fear of appearances is the first symptom of impotence. The most common form of despair is not being who you are.
Sometimes you have to lose all you have to find out who you truly are.
Energy may be likened to the bending of a crossbow, decision to the releasing of a trigger.
Before I can tell my life what I want to do with it, I must listen to my life telling me who I am. Rejections come the moment we decide to turn our one day into day one, and that is totally okay.
People who keep stiff upper lips find that it's damn hard to smile. Only knowledge can turn life's unbearableness into a weapon.
Wisdom is being able to see the world for what it is, rather than what you want it to be. I have so much to share with the world. Please be patient, and you will get everything you're currently waiting for. Don't blow off another's candle, for it won't make yours shine brighter.
It is truth that liberates, not your effort to be free.
A man who does not know his weaknesses will never understand his strength. The truth is that judgment and fear will never stop, but they don't actually do anything. Stress is temporary, but the lessons you learn from it can last a lifetime. Dreams don't work unless you take action. The surest way to make your dreams come true is to live them.
Fear is nothing more than a negative assessment of risk.
Integrity is doing the right thing when nobody's watching, and doing as you say you would do. Simple the life, simpler will be your instincts. The laws that govern the universe will obey your simplicity. You never change your life until you step out of your comfort zone. Change begins at the end, your comfort zone. I just want someone to hear what I have to say, and maybe if I talk long enough, it'll make sense. If a man empties his purse into his head, no one can take it from her. There would be no society if living together depended upon understanding each other. Being liked for the way you looked is worse than not being liked at all.
Stop leaving, and you will arrive. Stop searching, and you will see. Stop running away, and you will be found.
Never complain, never explain. Resist the temptation to defend yourself or make excuses. It's always about timing. If it's too soon, no one understands. If it's too late, everyone's forgotten. The best lies are based on the truth, at least in part.
The most dangerous of all falsehoods is a slightly distorted truth. I kept always 2 books in my pocket, one to read, one to write in.
When life takes away, something of greater value is always given in return.
You know, there's no such thing as a complete lie. There's always some truth in there. Ultimate excellence lies not in winning every battle, but in defeating the enemy without ever fighting.
Earthlings went on being friendly when they should have been thinking instead.
The money you make is a symbol of the value you create.
I'm the one that's got to die when it's time for me to die, so let me live my life the way I want to. Live as if you were to die tomorrow. Learn as if you were to live forever. It's hard to throw away history. It was like you were throwing away a part of yourself. Only the hand that erases can write the true thing. The ones who are crazy enough to think they can change the world are the ones who do. Be a surfer, watch the ocean, figure out where the big waves are breaking and adjust accordingly.
If you fight with all your might, there is a chance of life, whereas death is certain if you cling to your corner.
Many of life's failures are people who did not realize how close they were to success when they gave up. You didn't just cheat on me, you cheated on us. You didn't just break my heart, you broke our future. Follow your bliss and the universe will open doors for you where there were only walls.
Being defeated is often a temporary condition. Giving up is what makes it permanent.
Rock and roll is not red carpets and MySpace friends. Rock and roll is dangerous and should piss people off. To be truly ignorant, be content with your own knowledge. Well, it's hard to be yourself. It's the hardest job there is. Create a vision for the life you really want and then work relentlessly towards making it a reality. The greatest win is walking away and choosing not to engage in drama and toxic energy at all.
It does not matter how long you live, but how well you do it.
No power on earth, if it labors beneath the burden of fear, can possibly be strong enough to survive. Anybody can make the simple complicated. Creativity is making the complicated simple. Man keeps looking for a truth that fits his reality. Given our reality, the truth doesn't fit. Respect and take care of the people. It's for the people. In return, you get respect from the people. Think continually about what you want, not about the things you fear.
Dream big, stay positive, work hard, and enjoy the journey. Procrastination makes easy things hard and hard things harder. Home is where somebody notices when you are no longer there.
It is not hard to walk without looking. It is hard to walk without seeing. If you wish to make Pythocles rich, do not add to his store of money, but subtract from his desires. The truth has always been a more complex commodity than the market can easily package and sell.
A true genius admits that he knows nothing.
Setting goals is the first step in turning the invisible into the visible. Life's under no obligation to give us what we expect. Nobody made a greater mistake than he who did nothing because he could do only a little. This is how you start to get respect, by offering something that you have. Everything we hear is an opinion, not a fact. Everything we see is a perspective, not the truth. Take advantage of it now, while you are young, and suffer all you can, because these things don't last your whole life. There are times I wish I were invisible, which is silly since I do everything I can to stand out. Do the hard jobs first. The easy jobs will take care of themselves.
Convince your enemy that he will gain very little by attacking you. This would diminish his enthusiasm. Without deviation from the norm, progress is not possible.
Sometimes it's better to stop trying to make sense of things. Life isn't clear-cut. There are always gray areas. Stars do not pull each other down to be more visible. They shine brighter. What I'm looking for is not out there, it is in me. Never stop just because you feel defeated. The journey to the other side is attainable only after great suffering. Sometimes our light goes out, but is blown again into instant flame by an encounter with another human being. I can't understand why people are frightened of new ideas. I'm frightened of the old ones.
Great knowledge sees all in one. Small knowledge breaks down into the many.
A hero is no braver than an ordinary man, but he is brave 5 minutes longer. You have to rely on whatever sparks you have inside. The two most important days in your life are the day you are born and the day you find out why.
Nothing isn't better or worse than anything. Nothing is just nothing.
If you're still breathing, maybe it is not such a bad day after all. He who would learn to fly one day must first learn to walk and run and climb and dance. One cannot fly into flying.
Better to get hurt by the truth than comforted with a lie. A person who never made a mistake never tried anything new.
Where your treasure is, there will your heart be also. People change, love hurts, friends leave, things go wrong, but remember that life goes on.
Silence is nice to have if you wanted it, but maddening if you didn't.
Very occasionally, you pay really close attention. Life doesn't suck. It is not as much about who you used to be as it is about who you choose to be.
Don't react. Cut them off silently. You become mature when you become the authority of your own life.
Earning is not possible without learning, and learning is not possible without burning.
Nothing is permanent in this wicked world. not even our troubles.
Everything has its wonders, even darkness and silence, and I learn, whatever state I may be in, therein to be content. Einstein said that insanity is doing the same thing over and over and expecting a different result. Life gives us choices. You either grab on with both hands and just go for it, or you sit on the sideline. You have 3 choices in life. You can watch things happen, make things happen, or wonder what the hell happened. I am inspired by people who are willing to confront the shadows of themselves and find light.
As for methods of prayer, all are good, as long as they are sincere.
There is no dark side of the moon, really. As a matter of fact, it's all dark.
He who wishes to fight must first count the cost. Life isn't about finding yourself. Life is about creating yourself.
First it hurts, then it makes you stronger.
I'm not a product of my circumstances. I'm a product of my decisions.
Stand up for what is right, even if it means standing alone.
The most wasted of all days is one without laughter. The heart's memory eliminates the bad and magnifies the good.
Life might take you down different roads, but each of you gets to decide which one to take. The torch of doubt and chaos, this is what the sage steers by. The only person that has power to put boundaries on your dreams is you.
Sometimes, not getting what you want is a brilliant stroke of luck.
Being human is not hard because you're doing it wrong. It's hard because you're doing it right. Be a life long or short, its completeness depends on what it was lived. It's not always that we need to do more, but rather that we need to focus on less. Don't leave a piece of jewelry at his house so you can go back and get it later. He may be with his real girlfriend. Truth has a resonance to it that fills the cracks where falsehoods lie. With one day's reading, a man may have the key in his hands.
I cannot trust a man to control others who cannot control himself.
The deeds you do may be the only sermon some persons will hear today. Every person has a right to risk their own life for the preservation of it. An ability to look into the confusing mess of life and see things for what they are.
As is a tale, so is life. Not how long it is, but how good it is what matters.
Don't half-state yourself. You're the most variable person, because every big thing started from a small one.
There is no saint without a past, no sinner without a future.
Calmer you are, the clearer you think. You only live once, but if you do it right, once is enough. We are what we pretend to be, so we must be careful about what we pretend to be. If the world was made for us, then it belongs to us, and we can do what we damn well please with it.
Time is precious, but truth is more precious than time. You show me a capitalist, and I'll show you a bloodsucker.
All I am is literature, and I'm not able or willing to be anything else. I want to drag knives over my skin, just to feel something other than shame, but I'm not even brave enough for that.
The secret to creativity is knowing how to hide your sources.
An unbreakable mask and cunning are the keys for executing a plan flawlessly. My happiness grows in direct proportion to my acceptance and in inverse proportion to my expectations. Don't think about the possibilities of failing. Never forget to think about the possibilities of flying. It is impossible or not easy to alter by argument what has long been absorbed by habit. If he sends reinforcements everywhere, he will everywhere be weak. As a leader, you're not paid to make decisions. You're paid to get results from decisions. Sometimes letting go is simply changing the labels you place on an event. Looking at the same event with fresh eyes. This is how the entire course of a life can be changed. By doing nothing. Never make a permanent decision based on temporary feelings. It's always hard to lose somebody. It leaves a hole in your heart that never grows back. It does not take courage to kill. It takes courage to live. If you try to change it, you will ruin it. Try to hold it, and you will lose it. Try telling the truth for a whole week, and just see how much trouble you get in. When a language dies, a way of understanding the world dies with it, a way of looking at the world. If you wake up tired, you've been chasing dreams. If you go to bed tired, you're making your dreams happen. Sometimes you win, sometimes you learn.
A whetstone, though it cannot cut, may sharpen a knife that will.